The final battle between humanity and the Velari. Empire had left the stars burning. Entire fleets drifted as ashes among the ruins of war. On the war-torn moon of Seral 9, a lone human medic named Dr. Cale Arden searched for survivors. His orders were clear: save any wounded humans, leave the aliens to their fate. But Cale wasn't one to follow cruel orders blindly. Amid the fallen, he found her, the Velari queen Sarathis. Her shimmering blue skin was marred by deep, glowing scars. Even half-conscious, her presence was overwhelming: power, grace, and pride wrapped in fragile pain. When Cale approached, her crimson eyes snapped open, and a dagger of light formed in her hand. "Touch me, human, and you die." Cale didn't flinch. "Then let me die trying to save you," he said, kneeling beside her. For the first time in her reign, the queen saw no fear in a human's eyes, only compassion. The blade dimmed. With shaking hands, Cale began treating her wounds, using his last reserves of medgel and nanobandages. Days passed. The medic's shelter became their world, quiet, filled with the hum of machines and the slow rhythm of healing. He spoke of Earth's oceans, of peace, of music. She listened, pretending not to care. But each time he smiled, something unfamiliar stirred in her heart. When her royal guards finally found her, they stormed into the shelter, weapons drawn. "Your Majesty, step away from the human." Sarathis rose, still weak but fierce. "No one touches him," she ordered. "He saved your queen, he belongs to me." The guards froze, stunned. A Velari claiming a human? Unthinkable. Word spread through both empires. The alien queen had chosen a human as her healer, and perhaps her equal. But peace is never simple. Human generals demanded Cale's return, calling him a traitor. The Velari Council feared their queen's growing attachment. Yet Sarathis stood before them all, declaring, "He saw life in me when I saw only war. If that is weakness, then I no longer wish to be strong." She turned to Cale. "Will you stay, even if the galaxy stands against us?" Cale smiled softly. "I already have." Together they rebuilt what war had broken, one life. One treaty, one fragile heartbeat at a time. And across the stars, stories whispered of a queen and her healer. Proof that even in the darkest galaxies, love could still be the strongest force of all. 5 years had passed since the last blaster fell silent. Under Queen Sarathis and Dr. Cale's joint rule, a fragile peace blossomed. Humans and Velari traded science, culture, and hope. Children were born under a single sky, half human, half alien, symbols of unity. But not everyone wanted peace. In the shadows of the Velari court, whispers spread. Generals called Cale a parasite. Some humans branded him a traitor, seduced by alien lies. And deep within Sarathis's council, one name festered: Lord Kareth, her most trusted advisor. Kareth had served her since birth. He watched, silent and loyal, as Cale's influence grew. But envy is a poison that grows quietly. When Sarathis began speaking of merging both worlds into one empire, Kareth saw it as blasphemy. He approached Cale one night in the royal hall. "You think love can change the stars, human?" He hissed. "You've changed her and doomed us all." Cale didn't answer. He only looked at the vast holographic sky, whispering, "Then let the stars decide." The next morning, explosions rocked the capital. A faction of Velari loyalists, led by Kareth, attacked the human embassy, claiming Cale had poisoned the queen's mind and must die. In the chaos, someone triggered a false broadcast across the galaxy, showing forged footage of Cale stabbing the queen. Human fleets mobilized instantly. Within hours, the fragile peace shattered. Sarathis survived the attack, though wounded again, not in body, but in soul. Her people demanded vengeance. Her heart demanded truth. She searched for Cale amid the ruins and found him cornered, bloodied, refusing to fight back. "Tell me it's not true," she whispered, her voice trembling. Cale stepped forward slowly. "I never raised a hand against you, Sarathis, but I couldn't stop them from destroying what we built." Her eyes glowed faintly, a tear tracing down her glowing cheek. "Then why do they all say your name in hate?" "Because peace," he said softly, "is always the first casualty of fear." Silence. The war drums echoed again in the distance. Sarathis turned toward the horizon, torn between love and duty. Then she faced her guards. "Lower your weapons," Kareth roared. "He betrayed you." "No," she said, her voice steady, eyes fierce. "You did." With a flick of her wrist, her energy blade pierced Kareth's armor. "You turned my love into a weapon. And for that, you'll die as a traitor." As Kareth fell, Sarathis collapsed to her knees beside. "Kale, the galaxy will never forgive us," she whispered. Kale took her hand. "Then we'll stop asking for forgiveness." The story ends with the two of them standing on the palace balcony as fleets gather in orbit once again, not as enemies this time, but as rulers who dare to love in defiance of war. And somewhere, beyond the stars, their legend begins anew, the queen and the healer who tried to save two worlds. The stars burned red once again. After the betrayal of Lord Kareth and the collapse of fragile peace, war had returned fiercer than ever. On one side stood the Velari Dominion demanding vengeance. On the other, the Human Alliance calling for justice. And between them, caught in the storm, stood Queen Sarathis and Dr. Kale Arden, united by love, branded as traitors by both worlds. For weeks, they fled from system to system, hiding in forgotten moons and abandoned colonies. Everywhere they went, they left messages: "We can still choose peace." But no one listened. The galaxy wanted war. One night, as they rested in the shattered ruins of an ancient outpost, Kale gazed at the stars. "Do you think it was all for nothing?" he asked quietly. Sarathis turned to him, her blue skin glowing faintly in the darkness. "You taught me something my people forgot long ago, that mercy is stronger than conquest." She smiled sadly. "No, Kale, nothing done in love is ever wasted." Moments later, alarms screamed. Human and Velari fleets had tracked their signal. Sarathis gripped her armor plates and activated. Her energy wings, once symbols of terror, now wings of defiance. Kale loaded his med rifle, a weapon built to heal, not kill. "Looks like this is it," he said. She nodded. "Then let them witness what unity looks like one last time." The battle over Eclipsera 4 became legend. A single alien cruiser, its shields burning gold, fought both armadas at once. Inside it, Kale and Sarathis stood side by side. Velari dreadnoughts fired plasma storms. Human destroyers unleashed ion barrages. Yet their ship held not through power, but through purpose. Kale rerouted life support to the shield core. "We can't win," he said, breathless. "We don't need to," Sarathis replied. "We just need them to see." She opened a broadcast across every channel in the galaxy. Her image filled every ship, every screen, every planet. "This is Queen Sarathis of Valar. With me stands the human who saved my life and my soul. We fought for peace and you called us traitors. But look at us now. We are all dying in the name of fear. If love between enemies is treason, then let the stars judge us guilty." Her words echoed across the void, powerful, unfiltered, true. The fleets hesitated. Captains lowered their weapons. For one fleeting moment, the galaxy paused. Then a final missile broke through. Kale saw it coming. Without thinking, he pushed Sarathis aside. The blast tore through the command bridge. Light swallowed everything. Here lies the healer, and the queen who proved that, even in the endless, dark love is the brightest star.